adventurers, explorers, and hooded figures being all mysterious in the corner of the tavern, welcome to Tavern Chat, with your host, Dave the Bard. Grab a drink, have a seat, and let's have a chat. I want to provide you guys with a scenario, something that'll get you into the right mindset for what we're going to talk about. And it's actually a similar scenario that I've provided to countless Dungeons & Dragons parties over the years, and I plan to do similar introductions as I go on in my journey of Dungeons & Dragons DMery, mastery, I don't know. So, you're in a tavern. It's middle of the week. It's a little late into the evening, so the tavern's not super busy. There's not a lot of patrons. You're sitting at a table with your friends, discussing the events of the day, missions you've gone on, missions you need to go on, save the princess, blah, 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 blah. When suddenly, a group of bandits come in and demand the gold of everyone in the tavern. People are freaking out. The bartender is shaking in her boots behind the bar. What do? Now, there are all kinds of answers to this. Usually, you and your friends will stand up heroically, pull out your swords and magic, and face the bandits, and very heroically enter into a fight saying, "Not today!" And you guys will go at it. It's an option. You could also just run away. I mean, it's a scary moment, so it definitely would not be out of the question to just leave the tavern as quickly as you possibly could, hopefully avoiding the bandits. It's an option. Not a great option, but it's an option. You could give the bandits what they're asking for, give them gold, armor, weapons, whatever they want, just so long as they say please, because they have to say please and thank you. It's manners. You could help the bandits, might be fun. You could go around to the other patrons of the bar, take their gold from the people, give it to the bandits and say, "Hey, we gave you their gold, you don't need ours," right? Maybe. You never know. You could sing show tunes, which often happens when I'm playing a bard. It's never really productive, and the bandits don't usually need to be there, but sometimes it just lightens the mood and makes everybody happy. Or annoyed. Depends on who you are. You could pull out Plan Z and walk outside the tavern, and there's this little known phrase. I'm not sure if you've heard of it. It's called "I cast fireball," and all I'm saying is that you can't steal from a tavern if there is no tavern. Just saying. For the most part, adventuring parties will stand up, get ready to fight, and go at it, which is fine. That's pretty standard. That's what you'd expect. But thankfully, there is no right answer in this scenario. There is no one way to go about it, which is amazing in scenarios like this where you need to be creative sometimes. There's just the answer that you choose. That's the only one that really matters. So, why do I bring this up? Because this scenario, even though it's in a fantasy world of swords and sorcery, it relates to reality fairly well, such as content creation. Think of it like this. It's the middle of the week. You've been working on content. You've been making videos and trying to promote your videos on socials. And you end up making your standard video. Maybe you tried something a little bit different this time. You post it, and all of a sudden, it's getting views. It's getting a lot of views. It's getting a lot of attention. You're getting new people to discover your channel, to watch your stuff. This is fascinating. What's going on? How do you handle this? What's the next move? What's the right move? Because there's so many eyeballs on you now. You have to do something, right? Well, what can you do? There's if you're making recorded content and posting it that way, well, you could try something new. You could try to bring people over to a live stream and be able to talk with them in person. Or maybe you could take the content that you just made and figure out what makes it that kind of content and make some more of it, see if more people will keep their eyes on it. Maybe it's time to try something new. Maybe it was the fact that you went from A to B, and that shift was the thing that got people interested. So maybe you need to try B to C, try something else new. Maybe you just need to switch some things around. Maybe you just need to try a little bit of different editing. Maybe it's the same edit. Or maybe you just need to stop posting entirely because it's scary and people are watching you and you don't want their attention, even though that was the whole reason that everything goes out to the people. Otherwise, you would keep it to yourself. Because we are all secretly attention whores. Don't worry, I still love you. And honestly, these kinds of questions, these kinds of thoughts, I had to deal with recently. About a week ago, a week from the release of this episode of the podcast, I posted a video about Escape Simulator. It's an escape room game. It's a lovely little thing. I've been enjoying it for a couple of months, and I realized there was some DLC that I hadn't played through, so I decided to live stream that and play through it. And it was really fun. But I wanted to make a video, and I was kind of getting tired of the Super Meat Boy. I was kind of grinding that out a lot, and the video before was very painful. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. But I wanted to try something new. I wanted to explore the different types of content that I could make. I'd been making a lot of gameplay, and one of my favorite YouTubers that I have been trying to figure out how to emulate is a guy named Russian Badger. He has these very interesting intros where it's a little bit of gameplay, but it's mostly narration that he does after the fact, and he tells the story through his editing. So I figured, why not? Let's try something new. And I went and looked through my footage. I was like, okay, well, here's the kind of story I can tell. Here's how I can introduce things. I watched a little bit of his content to get me in the right mindset. I actually wrote out a shot list because I really wanted to make sure that the first minute or two was as good of a part of the video as it possibly could be. I really wanted to keep people's eyeballs. That was the big thing. Because I knew that in previous videos, the intros were too long, and I needed to make sure that I kept people's interest. So I made this 1:20 introduction. So many edits, so much time required, my computer could barely handle rendering it, but I finished it. I got everything out, I got it all uploaded. I went to bed at like 5 a.m. the day of the upload because I was just so tired. I didn't check on it until after work, or rather in the middle of work, around 4:30 in the afternoon. I screamed at work, might have terrified some people, when I saw that the video had gotten 10 times the amount of views that any other video had gotten in the first 7 hours. I was terrified and also very excited because so many people were watching this thing that had taken a lot of effort and a lot of creativity and a lot of planning. Worked. It was insane. I didn't know what to do. The video just kept growing and growing and growing, and more subscribers were appearing, and I was like, what? It worked too well. I'm still kind of blown away about it. And I didn't know what was next. So what do I do? Do I live stream? Do I make more content? I still don't know. But a decision has to be made. I'm in an excellent spot. I have been given a great opportunity, and I need to do something about it. And there's a couple of ways I can go about it. One of my favorite quotes is from a guy named Taliesin Jaffe, and it works very well in this circumstance. He said, when he was talking about some of the decisions that had brought him to his place in life, and they were not standard, but he had made them. And his comment on it was, These are choices. They're choices. Choices are way better than not choosing. Not choosing just means that you're at the whims of circumstance. Now, I want you to think about this. Think about it. Choices are way better than not choosing. Not choosing just means that you're at the whims of circumstance. By choosing not to make a decision, you have thus made a decision of inaction, of doing nothing. By deciding you don't know what you want to do and doing nothing, you have decided that whatever direction your life is going right now, or whatever direction a project is going, that is the direction that it is going to stay. I know it's not easy for a lot of people to make a big decision or to react to something like this and figure out how to go forward and to grow, or to figure out what exactly you want to do with it now that you've been given this opportunity. And for some people, for those people that really need to make a decision but can't because of whatever reason, whether it's life or friends or work or what have you, sometimes they just need a little outside support. Sometimes they just need a little bit of encouragement. Sometimes they just need to know that they are allowed to do the thing that they want to do, even if they don't think they are allowed to do it. I have many friends that, over the years, have been overly critical about themselves and about what they want to do and how to actually do the things they want to do, and they just haven't been able to push past that boundary. They've gotten to the point where when the bandits come into the tavern, if they were to do their best and fight off the bandits, but something went wrong, or something that could have happened, like that was bad, happened, or something that was supposed to happen that would have been good, but it didn't happen. If things don't go exactly the way that they want it to, even if it was out of their control, they think it was their fault. And that is not the way to think. That is not the frame of mind that you should be in. Rather than choose inaction, rather than not making a decision, rather than fighting the bandits, take some time to determine what you want the end goal of your journey to look like. Or even just this small section of the journey. It doesn't need to be the end of your life or the end of some story. It just needs to be just a little section. Figure out what you want it to look like. The image doesn't have to be perfect. You don't need to have it squared away and ready to go. But just figure out a general idea. Now throw that concept way out into the distance. You can only kind of see it. It's out there. You get a general idea. You might be able to get into that. Maybe it'll adjust. In between all the way over there and right here, where we are right now, I want you to reflect. I want you to reflect on yourself and where you are. I want you to do research, to learn, to be as prepared with as much knowledge and wisdom as you can gather. I want you to remove all the doubts that you have about what you can do. I want you to be able to restore your mental clarity, to be able to see ahead and to know that that is the path ahead. And while it might not be a straight shot, It will tell its own story. You will learn more lessons along the way, and you will learn as you are going what you want that end goal to be just by going along this path. And then you will ready yourself, and you'll rob those bandits. I'll be honest, you don't need to rob the bandits. I just wanted to add another R word, reflect, research, remove, restore, ready, rob. I thought it'd be fun to say. But everything else, all that important, self-clarity stuff, learning where you are, being able to take the next step, even though you might not know where that step is taking you, just being able to take the step, take that to heart. That's important. And it's not like everyone has the same readying steps, readying actions, if you will, if we're going to continue using Dungeons & Dragons terms. Everyone has their own way. My way, which I take it for yourself if you'd like. I talked about it a little bit on Twitch when I was streaming a while ago. I go to a place that few men dare to travel. Denny's. At midnight. Genuinely one of my favorite things to do. It's so peaceful. There's almost no one there. The waitresses are so kind because you know that they're just there. They're just working. They're not going crazy. They're just having a conversation. They're doing their thing. It's nice. And I'll bring my tablet along to do some research. I'll bring a sketchbook along to do some doodles. You never know. And other people, I know, other people will go on walks in the park. Sometimes just being able to stream yourself or to just have a camera on you and then being able to talk out loud and get all these ideas out of your head. Because I can guarantee you, I call myself an ideas man. I bet everyone out there is an ideas person, but they're scared to say the idea. They think that whatever ideas they have are stupid. And for that, I say you are stupid, my friend. Because your ideas are brilliant. Your ideas may be weird and crazy and out of left field and all those other metaphors that mean something that's relevant. But you just gotta give yourself the chance. You just gotta try something stupid. Try something weird. And realize that as you are preparing to go on this journey, whether it's with content, whether it's your career, whether it's with schooling, relationships, going out into the world, no matter what you're going on, just remember that your journey is not going to be like anyone else's. There might be similar people walking the path right now, but everyone has their own path. Everyone has their own way of getting to where they want to be. Sometimes it's slower, sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but you'll make it. I believe in you. You will be able to succeed at your goal. You just need to get started. And sometimes you just gotta be a little stupid. Gotta be a little silly. Going out of your way to try something weird, try something new, try something that you've never done before, that's what makes us adventurers. That's what makes content creation so cool, is that we can do whatever we want. You just gotta do it. And have fun. Don't force yourself. Just do it, friend. You've got this. I believe in you. I really do. Now, I still have a little bit of a situation. And I need to go figure out how I'm going to handle this video blowing up. So, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go get ready for endless pancakes and random doodling in my sketchbooks. Thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions about my journey and the steps that I've taken, or if you just want to share where you are in yours and get a little bit of feedback or just share some accomplishments that you've made along the way, make sure to leave a comment over here on YouTube or, my DMs are open over on Twitter at DaveTheBard_. I do my best to respond to every comment and message. I really do. But, yeah. Have a lovely day. Make sure to tip your waiters and waitresses. I try to do 20%. And I'll talk to you guys next time on Tavern Chat.